Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. And today we are taking on Chapter 4 of Defeating Excusitis, the Failure Disease. And I got to say, this chapter, especially after we just went through Chapter 3 with Health Excusitis, really resonated with me.
Yeah.
And kind of along the same lines, in Chapter 3, we were unearthing all those sneaky little ways that we kind of let health stuff, whether it's real or imagined, kind of get in the way of our full potential. And we'll get ready because Chapter 4 takes us down a similar path.
Oh, yeah.
But this time it's all about age.
It really is. And what I find so interesting about this chapter is how author Christopher Walker really digs into age as this excuse.
Oh, yeah.
And it's something that we can all relate to at different points in our lives.
Yeah.
We might feel too old to try something new
Right.
or too young to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating how age can become this barrier.
It's so true. And, it's funny because we often talk about age as if it's just the subjective number.
Right.
But what Walker does is he really exposes it as this subjective experience.
Absolutely.
And he even gives it a name.
Yeah.
He calls it age excusitis.
He does.
And he kind of splits into two main categories.
Yeah.
We have the I'm too old excusitis and the I'm too young excusitis.
And what I think is so interesting is that both of those categories, while seemingly opposite,
Yeah.
they share this really interesting common thread.
Okay.
They both really stem from this fixed mindset. That belief that our abilities are just predetermined.
Right.
And they're limited
Yeah.
by how old we are.
By that number.
It's almost like saying, well, I'm this old, so I can't possibly do that.
It's like those tapes that play in our heads.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
And, I think that I'm too old. Excusitis is extra sneaky because it kind of feeds off of all these societal expectations.
Yes.
Think about all those messages that we kind of just absorb
Right.
growing up about what is and isn't appropriate
Yeah.
for different age groups.
It's almost like this unwritten rule book, isn't it? Like when
Yeah.
you hit a certain age,
Right.
you're just supposed to slow down
Right.
and kind of stick with what,
Yes.
avoid taking risks.
Right.
But Walker, he does a really good job at dismantling this idea.
Yes.
And he does it with a very inspiring example.
Lay it on me.
Colonel Harlan Sanders.
All right. The Colonel Sanders story
Yes.
never gets old.
It's amazing.
I mean, launching Kentucky Fried Chicken
I know.
at 65 years old.
Imagine that.
I mean, come on. That is like the master class
It is.
in defying age expectations.
Right.
What I think is so fascinating about that is he didn't even start his iconic journey
Right.
until what many would consider to be retirement age.
It's a total game changer.
Yeah, it really is.
And what I find so interesting about Colonel Sanders is his resilience. He just didn't let any of his setbacks define him.
Right.
He faced so many rejections,
Yeah.
but he kept pushing forward with that vision. And I think it's just such a testament to the power of perseverance
Right.
at any age.
Yeah, it really is. And it makes you wonder, how many potential Colonel Sanders are out there
Oh, I know.
right now? People with incredible ideas, incredible talents, but they're holding back because of this idea
Absolutely.
that they're too old.
It's exactly what Walker is challenging us to confront.
Right.
And he doesn't just stop there.
Okay.
Remember Laura Ingalls Wilder?
Oh, yeah, of course.
The author of Little House on the Prairie. She
Oh.
published her first book at 64.
Wow, that's amazing.
It really is. I feel like that's just her drop in the mic,
Right.
proving that creativity has no expiration date.
I love that.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about all of those kind of made-up rules that we have around age, especially when it comes to creative things. Like, there's this idea that you have to be a young and starving artist
Right.
to make it. But Wilder's story just totally throws that out the window.
Completely. And, it also made me think of something that Rich Karlgaard explores in his book, Late Bloomers.
Oh, interesting.
He argues that society often undervalues people who achieve things later in life.
Huh.
And we overlook all of the wisdom and experience they bring to the table.
It's like we're so obsessed with youth
Right.
that we forget that some of the most impactful contributions come from people who have really lived.
Yeah.
People who have years of experience to draw from.
It's like they bring a whole other level of depth
Right.
and understanding to their work.
Exactly. And so this is where it gets really interesting, right?
Yes.
What if those years, those experiences are actually an asset
Totally.
as opposed to a liability?
Absolutely.
Have you ever felt like your age has given you a really unique perspective? Like a deeper understanding of things?
Absolutely. I think there's a certain wisdom
Yes.
that comes with age.
Yes?
A clarity that you can only gain through living and learning.
It's true. And it's like you've seen more sides of the coin. You've weathered some storms,
You have.
and that just gives you a different kind of strength.
It's like you've developed a thicker skin,
Yes.
a more resilient spirit.
Totally.
And I think that that is incredibly valuable,
Yeah.
especially when we face challenges and setbacks,
Right.
which, they're inevitable no matter what we pursue.
So if we're listening to this and we're really feeling that I'm too old, excuse kind of creaking in,
Yeah.
what's a good way to kind of combat that?
That's a great question.
How can we challenge those limiting beliefs
Yeah.
and step into our potential regardless of age?
Well, I think the first thing is to acknowledge those feelings.
Okay.
Don't try to suppress them or pretend they're not there.
Right.
Recognize that those thoughts are present,
Okay.
but don't let them dictate your actions.
Got it.
Instead, shift your focus to all of those examples that we've been discussing.
Right.
Remember Colonel Sanders, Laura Ingalls Wilder,
Yes.
all those other individuals who defied age expectations?
Yes.
It's like creating a new playlist in your head.
Ooh, I like
They're
that.
replacing those old limiting tracks with anthems of possibility
Yes.
and resilience.
And resilience. I think that's such a powerful way to kind of reframe that thinking.
Really is.
So it sounds like what you're saying is age is truly just a number,
It is
like a data point.
a data point.
It doesn't define who you are
No.
or what you're capable of.
Exactly.
It's your mindset,
Yeah,
your beliefs, and your actions
it is.
that truly shape your destiny.
Absolutely. And speaking of mindset,
Yes.
Walker introduces this really interesting concept
Okay.
that completely reframes how we think about age.
All right. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
The growth mindset.
Ooh, the growth mindset. Okay.
Yeah.
So break that down for me. What does that actually mean for our listeners?
Well, the growth mindset is all about believing that our abilities aren't fixed,
Okay.
but can actually be developed
Ah,
through dedication and hard work.
I see.
And it was championed by Dr. Carol Dweck
Oh.
in her groundbreaking research.
Okay, so it's the opposite of the fixed mindset
It is.
that we were talking about earlier.
Exactly.
So instead of saying, I'm too old to learn that,
Yeah.
a growth mindset would say something like,
Yeah.
I'm excited to challenge myself and expand my skill set.
I love that.
I mean, that's completely different.
It is.
It's like a total game changer.
It is. It's all about embracing lifelong learning.
Okay.
Recognizing that there's always room to grow,
Right.
to evolve, to
Right.
become better versions of ourselves.
Right. And it's not just about like acquiring knowledge or skills.
No.
It's about developing that resilience, that adaptability,
Yes.
and a thirst for continuous improvement.
Exactly. And it's like that saying, the only constant is change.
Yes.
And if we're constantly learning and growing, we are better equipped
Right.
to navigate all of those changes.
Yeah, regardless of age.
Regardless of age, exactly.
That's so powerful. Okay, so we've explored the I'm too old side of age excuse-itis.
Mhm.
Now let's flip the script and dive into this I'm too young excuse.
Okay, let's do it.
Because I think this might sound counterintuitive,
Yeah.
but I bet a lot of our listeners can relate to this one too.
Oh, you are so right. Feeling too young can be just as paralyzing as feeling too old.
Right.
It often stems from this belief that you need years of experience to be taken seriously,
Right.
or to have a valid opinion,
Mhm.
or to even make a meaningful contribution.
It's like you're waiting for permission to kind of step into your full potential.
Yes.
But that permission never seems to come.
Exactly.
And I think this is extra prevalent
Mhm.
today
Mhm.
in this fast-paced world
Yeah.
where there's so much emphasis on hustle
Mm-hmm.
and achieving early success.
Right. It creates this pressure
Yes,
to have it all figured out
by a certain age.
by a certain age, to
Okay.
have this laundry list of accomplishments
Mhm.
and accolades.
And if you don't,
Yeah.
it's like you feel like you're falling behind.
Oh, really?
You're not good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like there's this unspoken timeline
Right.
for success.
Mhm.
And if you haven't hit those milestones by a certain age, it's like you're a failure.
Yes, and that's exactly the trap that Walker wants us to avoid.
Okay.
He reminds us that everyone's journey is unique.
Yeah,
There's no one-size-fits-all timeline for success.
right.
And he backs this up with some really inspiring examples.
Oh, I love a good example.
I know you do.
Lay it on me.
Well, prepare to have your mind blown.
Okay.
He brings up Malala Yousafzai,
Okay.
who won the Nobel Peace Prize at just 17 years old.
Wow.
And get this, her incredible advocacy for girls' education started when she was only 11.
Okay, if that doesn't make you question everything you thought you knew about age and achievement,
I know.
I don't know what will.
Right.
Seriously, Malala is a force of nature.
She is.
Proving that age doesn't define impact.
It doesn't.
It's about passion.
Yeah.
Courage.
Yes.
Willingness to stand up for what you believe in.
It's a testament to the power of youthful idealism.
Right.
And fearlessness.
Yeah, she didn't wait for someone to give her permission to speak out to make a difference.
Right.
She saw a problem.
Yeah.
And she took action.
She did.
And that is what's so inspiring.
Absolutely.
About her story.
Yes.
It's like she embodies that, quote, be the change you wish to see in the world.
She does.
And she didn't let her age stop her
from
making a global impact.
Exactly. And speaking of youthful change makers,
oh, yes,
Walker also highlights Mark Zuckerberg, who co-founded Facebook at 19.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's really fascinating
Yeah.
because I think it demonstrates how youth can really be an asset.
Right.
In a world that's craving innovation and disruption.
Right.
He wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo, to think differently, to create something new.
Right.
And that's what propelled him to success.
That's so true. And there's a great book that kind of dives deeper into Zuckerberg's story.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
It's called The Facebook Effect
by
David Kirkpatrick.
All right.
And it's a really fascinating read if you're interested in learning more.
Okay, cool.
About the rise of Facebook.
Yeah.
And the impact it's had on the world.
Right. So we have Colonel Sanders defying the too old myth.
Yes.
We have Malala and Zuckerberg shattering that too young myth.
Totally.
I mean, it's clear that age is not the determining factor in success.
It's about so much more than that, right?
It is.
It's about passion, resilience, a willingness to take risks, and a belief in yourself and your vision.
Yes, and that's what I love about this chapter. It's not just about debunking age myths.
Right.
It's about empowering us to break free from those limitations that we put on ourselves and to step into our full potential no matter where we are on the age spectrum.
It's recognizing that age is really just one piece of the puzzle.
One piece.
Not the whole picture.
Right.
And that is a really liberating thought.
It is freeing. It really is. It frees us from those beliefs that keep us stuck.
Yes.
And it opens up this world of possibilities.
Totally. And that's where we're going to pick up in part 2 of our deep dive.
Yes.
We're going to explore how to cultivate that growth mindset.
Yes, we are.
How to challenge those age excuses.
Yes.
And how to take action toward our goals no matter how old we are.
It's going to be good.
I am excited for part 2.
Me too.
But before we go, I want to leave our listeners with a question to ponder.
Okay.
What is one thing that you would go for if you didn't let age hold you back?
Oh, I like that.
What dream would you pursue if those too old or too young voices weren't whispering in your ear?
Right.
Take a moment to really think about that, because as we've seen from all these incredible examples, age is not the limiting factor.
It's not.
It's our mindset that makes all the difference.
Got it.
We'll be back soon to continue this deep dive.
We will.
But until then,
remember,
you're never too old and you're never too young.
That's right.
To create the life that you desire.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to our deep dive into age excusitis.
Yeah, it's so good to be back.
You know, it's amazing how much this chapter 4 of Defeating Excusitis, the Failure Disease, really builds on what we learned about health excusitis in chapter 3.
Oh, totally.
You know, both chapters really highlight how we can let these seemingly valid excuses really sabotage our potential.
Yeah, it's like we give these excuses so much power over our lives, don't we? And we let them dictate our choices and really limit our possibilities.
Right.
But what if we flipped the script?
Right.
What if we challenged these excuses and chose to focus on our potential instead?
You know, that's what I love about Christopher Walker's approach.
Yeah.
He doesn't just point out the problem.
Right.
He gives us these actionable steps to overcome it.
He does.
And one of the most powerful tools he offers is this concept of the growth mindset.
And the growth mindset is all about believing that our abilities are not fixed.
Okay.
But they can be developed through effort and dedication.
Wow.
It's about embracing challenges as opportunities for growth and learning,
Right.
rather than seeing them as threats or limitations.
So in the last part, we talked about how this growth mindset is kind of like creating this new internal playlist.
Yeah.
Right? It's about replacing those old limiting tracks with anthems of possibility and resilience.
Totally.
But how do we actually make that shift?
That's a great question.
Because, it sounds great in theory.
Right.
But how do we put it into practice?
I think one of the first steps is becoming aware of your self-talk.
Okay.
Pay attention to the thoughts that pop up when you're faced with a new challenge or opportunity.
Yeah.
Are you telling yourself, I'm too old for this?
Oh.
Or I'm too young to even try?
That's such a crucial point.
It is.
It's like those thoughts, they become automatic, almost like a reflex.
Totally.
We don't even realize we're doing it.
Yeah, we're not even conscious of it.
But once you start paying attention, you can catch yourself in the act.
Yeah.
And then you can start to challenge those negative beliefs.
Exactly. And when those doubts creep in,
yeah,
think back to the inspiring examples that we talked about.
Okay.
Remember Colonel Sanders launching KFC at 65?
It's amazing.
Or Laura Ingalls Wilder publishing her first book at 64?
Right.
Their stories prove that it's never too late to start something new, to pursue a passion, to make a meaningful contribution.
And on the flip side, we have Malala Yousafzai winning the Nobel Peace Prize
at 17.
At just 17 years old.
I know.
Her story reminds us that age is not a barrier
to
making a difference in the world.
Exactly.
It's about having the courage to speak up, to take action,
to
fight for what you believe in, no matter how old you are.
And how about Mark Zuckerberg?
Yes.
So founding Facebook at 19.
It's a testament to the power of innovation and the impact that young people can have
on the world.
Yeah.
So it's like all these incredible individuals are like living, breathing proof that age is not the defining factor in success.
It's not.
It's about passion, perseverance, and a willingness to challenge the status quo.
And that's where the growth mindset comes in.
Okay.
It's about believing in your ability to learn and grow, to adapt and to overcome challenges.
Yeah.
It's recognizing that you're not defined by your age, but by your mindset and your actions.
So if we want to cultivate that growth mindset, where do we start?
That's a great question.
What are some practical steps that we can take to shift our thinking and embrace this new way of approaching age?
Well, one powerful strategy is to focus on your strengths.
Okay.
What are you good at? What do you enjoy doing?
Yeah.
When you focus on your strengths, you build confidence and motivation.
Right.
And that can help you overcome those age-related doubts.
I love that it's about recognizing what you bring to the table.
Yes.
Regardless of your age.
Absolutely.
It's about owning your unique talents and your experiences.
Yeah.
And using them to your advantage.
Exactly. And it's also about being willing to step outside of your comfort zone.
Okay.
Because that's where the real growth happens.
Right.
Challenge yourself to try new things, to learn new skills, to push your boundaries.
And I think that ties back to the idea of lifelong learning, which Walker emphasizes in this chapter.
Yeah.
And, he's not saying that we all have to go back to school full time.
No.
It's about staying curious.
Right.
Seeking out new knowledge and constantly expanding our skill set.
It's about embracing the journey of continuous learning and growth.
Ooh.
Recognizing that there's always more to discover, more to explore, more to become.
Yeah. And it's not just about professional development.
Right.
It's about enriching our personal lives.
It is.
Keeping our minds sharp.
And staying engaged with the world around us.
Exactly.
I love how you frame it as a journey. It's not about reaching a destination.
No.
But it's about the process of continuous growth and evolution.
Absolutely. It's about embracing the adventure of life.
Yes.
And all the possibilities it holds.
And that's where taking action comes in.
It does.
It's not enough to just think about these concepts. We have to put them into practice.
We do.
Walker really stresses the importance of taking small steps towards our goals, even if they seem daunting or overwhelming.
Right.
And I think that's such a crucial point, especially when it comes to overcoming age excusitis.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the what ifs.
Right.
And I'm too old or I'm too young for that thinking.
Totally.
But taking those small steps, even if they feel insignificant, can build momentum.
It can.
And create real change.
It's about breaking down those big goals. Into smaller, more manageable steps. And remember, consistency is key. Those small actions taken consistently over time can lead to remarkable results.
And this reminds me of another powerful story from the chapter.
Oh, yeah.
The story of Martha, the 55-year-old teacher, who opened her dream bakery.
That's right.
She was inspired by Colonel Sanders.
Yeah.
Realized it's never too late to pursue a passion.
Mm-hmm.
And started taking those small steps towards her goal.
She did.
First, she enrolled in a baking class.
Right.
Then she started selling her products at local farmers market.
Yeah.
And eventually...
She opened her own bakery.
I mean, come on.
Amazing.
That's amazing.
It is.
Her story is such a beautiful illustration of what's possible when we overcome our self-doubt and take action.
It's about recognizing that it's never too late to start something new.
Right.
To pursue a dream. To create a life that brings you joy and fulfillment.
And what's even more inspiring...
What's that?
...is that her bakery's thriving.
Wow. I love that.
It's proof that age is not a barrier to success.
It's not.
It's our mindset that makes all the difference.
You got it. And her story also highlights the importance of role models.
Oh, totally.
Seeing someone else defy those age stereotypes.
Yeah.
Can be incredibly motivating.
Right.
It gives us that tangible example to follow.
It's like having a living, breathing example that says, hey, if they can do it, so can you.
Absolutely.
It's about surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you to grow, and who believe in your potential.
And don't forget the power of your support system.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people who believe in you and encourage your growth.
Yes.
Just like Michael, the young engineer who was hesitant to lead.
Yeah.
Having that supportive manager who saw his potential made all the difference.
It's amazing how a little encouragement can go such a long way.
It can.
In helping us overcome our self-doubt.
Yeah.
And step into our full capabilities.
Right.
It's like having a cheerleader in your corner reminding you of your strength and urging you to keep going, even when things get tough.
And it's not just about receiving support.
Right.
It's about giving it as well.
Totally.
Be that cheerleader for someone else.
Yeah.
Encourage their dreams, celebrate their successes, remind them that they're never too old and never too young to achieve great things.
It's about creating this community of support and inspiration.
It is.
Where we lift each other up.
Yeah.
And encourage each other to reach our full potential.
Yes. And I think that's a beautiful thing.
It really is.
It is. It's about recognizing that we're all on this journey together.
Yeah.
Regardless of our age. And by supporting and inspiring each other.
Yes.
We can create a world where age is no longer a barrier.
Right.
But a badge of honor.
Yeah.
A testament to the wisdom, the experience, and the resilience we've gained along the way.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that is the perfect note to end Part 2 on. We've explored the growth mindset, the importance of lifelong learning, and the power of taking action, all within the context of overcoming age excusitis.
We have.
But this is just the beginning of our journey.
Yes, it is.
Join us for Part 3, where we'll delve even deeper into the practical strategies for cultivating that growth mindset, challenging those age excuses, and creating a life that truly reflects your full potential, regardless of your age. Welcome back to the final part of our deep dive into age excusitis. And wow, this has been a journey.
It has.
Exploring Chapter 4 of Defeating Excusitis, the Failure Disease, has really been an eye-opener for me, I think. It made me realize just how much I've let age-related excuses hold me back in the past.
It's amazing how sneaky they can be, right?
They really are.
They creep into our subconscious, and they start to shape our beliefs about what we're capable of without us even realizing it.
It's like we've internalized all of those expectations that society has around age. And we turn them into these self-imposed limitations.
Totally.
But the good news is, Christopher Walker reminds us that we have the power to break free from those limitations.
We do.
Create a new narrative for ourselves.
Absolutely. And in this final part, I really want to focus on equipping you with some really practical strategies to challenge those age excuses and to cultivate that growth mindset that empowers you to pursue your goals, no matter how old you are.
Perfect. Because it's one thing to understand the concepts. But it's another to actually apply them. In our daily lives.
In real life.
So where do we start?
That's the big question, right?
What are some tangible steps that we can take to shift our thinking and embrace this new way of approaching age?
One of the most powerful strategies is to become aware of your self-talk. Pay attention to those thoughts that pop up when you're faced with a new challenge or new opportunity. Are you telling yourself, I'm too old for this?
Oh, I do that all the time.
Or I'm too young to even try.
Yes, I catch myself thinking, oh, I'm too old to learn that new software.
Yeah.
I'm too young to apply for that leadership position.
Right.
More times than I care to admit.
Exactly. And those thoughts sneak in.
They do.
Before we even realize it.
Yeah, and once you become aware of those negative thoughts,
Right.
then you can start to challenge them.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, is this really true?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any evidence to support this belief?
And a lot of times you'll find that those age-related doubts are based on unfounded assumptions and limiting beliefs.
And that's when having those inspiring role models really comes in handy.
It does.
Because when you see someone else achieving great things at a similar age, or even defying those conventional age expectations, it helps to challenge those beliefs.
It does.
And see that anything is possible.
Exactly. So if you're feeling too old, remember Colonel Sanders launching KFC at 65? Or Laura Ingalls Wilder publishing her first book at 64?
Right.
And if you're feeling too young, think of Malala Yousafzai winning the Nobel Peace Prize at 17.
Or Mark Zuckerberg co-founding Facebook at 19.
Exactly. Their stories are like beacons of hope.
They really are.
Reminding us that age is not a barrier.
Right.
It's our mindset that makes all the difference.
And I love how you framed it earlier as creating a new internal playlist.
Yeah.
Replacing those old limiting tracks with anthems of possibility and resilience.
I love that analogy.
Me too.
And another powerful strategy is to focus on your strength.
Okay.
You know, what are you good at? What do you enjoy doing? Because when you focus on your strengths, you build confidence and motivation. And that can help you overcome those age-related doubts.
I think this ties back to that idea of embracing lifelong learning that Walker talks so much about.
He does.
Because when you're constantly learning and growing, you're naturally developing new skills and discovering hidden talents no matter how old you are.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone.
Okay.
Because that's where the real growth happens.
Right.
You know, challenge yourself to try new things, learn new skills.
Yeah.
Push your boundaries.
You know, thinking back to that quote about life in your years.
Yeah.
Do you think that sense of urgency is kind of what pushes people like Colonel Sanders and Martha to finally go for it?
Yeah.
Like they realize time is precious and they don't want to waste it on what ifs?
I think there's definitely something to that.
Yeah.
As we get older, we become more aware of the finite nature of time. And I think that can be a powerful motivator to finally pursue those dreams that we've been putting off.
Right.
To make the most of the time we have left.
It's like a wake-up call.
It is.
Reminding us that we don't have forever to wait for the perfect time.
Right.
The right circumstances.
Yeah.
The time is now.
Yes.
The opportunity is here.
It is.
And we have the power to choose how we want to spend our precious time.
Exactly. And remember, it's not about achieving some grand monumental success.
Right.
It's about living a life that is meaningful and fulfilling to you.
Right.
Regardless of your age.
That's a great point. It's about pursuing those things.
Yeah.
That bring you joy.
Yeah.
That ignite your passion.
Yeah.
That make you feel alive.
Exactly. It's about creating a life that reflects your values, your aspirations, a life that you're proud of,
right.
A life that leaves a positive impact on the world.
And it all starts with that shift in mindset.
Yeah.
That belief in yourself and your ability to learn and grow,
right.
To adapt and to overcome challenges.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing that age is not a barrier,
right.
But a badge of honor.
Yeah.
A testament to the wisdom, the experience, and the resilience that you've gained along the way.
I love that. So as we wrap up this deep dive into age excusitis,
yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with a call to action.
Okay, I like it.
What's one small step that you can take today to overcome those age-related doubts and move closer to your goals?
Whether it's enrolling in a class, reaching out to a mentor,
right,
or simply shifting your self-talk.
Yeah.
Take that first step and watch how your world begins to expand.
That's such a good point. It's about taking that first step no matter how small.
It is.
And remember, you don't have to do it alone.
You don't.
Reach out to your support system. Connect with like-minded individuals.
Yes.
Surround yourself with people who believe in you and encourage your growth.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into age excusitis.
Yes, thank you.
Hope you found it insightful and empowering.
We do.
Don't forget to subscribe to Dialogue Dimensions.
Yes.
For more thought-provoking conversations. And be sure to share your thoughts and takeaways in the comments below.
Yes, please do.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
Keep diving.
and keep challenging those limiting beliefs.
Absolutely.